we'd already established with the weapons on release.
Okay.
So we weren't trying to make any like drastic changes to how these things play. If you already know how they play, if you already like them, or if there's one that like you feel like it could be better, but it just needs a little something, that gameplay is still going to be pretty familiar to you. It's just gonna be a lot more effective, hopefully in every activity that you like playing.
Okay. Well,
Like Fighting Lion that you see here is now a beast. And John can tell you everything it does, but it is one of my personal favorites. I've been running it like crazy in playtests.
Yeah, the thing we did to Fighting Lion to make it a little bit better is we gave it more ammo, and we basically did a small adjustment to how damage works on it. So we added more damage to the detonation and took a little bit off the impact. So it places a little less pressure on trying to get that grenade to hit and makes the detonation a little bit more friendly.
Lets you reach out and touch people.
Yeah, it just makes it a little bit more reliable. Oh my god, it's fun.
So there was some hot potato action for me just now.
this design pass, did it include all of the exotic weapons, or did you pick some very specific targets that you wanted to focus on?
Almost all of them. There's only a handful that didn't get touched, and because we felt those ones were already playing pretty well, or already getting relatively positive feedback from the community, and because we did have a limited amount of time, we wanted to make sure we were hitting all the stuff that really needed a good pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if Fighting Lion is one that you're really enjoying, Josh, John, what are you looking forward to getting your hands on when the 1.2.0 update kicks off Season 3?
I'm really excited about the Graviton Lance. I know we talked about it a whole bunch, but I think that one just came together really nicely. I think it's going to be a really good weapon for all activities. Yeah, it's going to be great. I think it'll definitely, in the PvP world, it'll definitely give Vigilance Wing a run for its money, for sure.
Well, we are in the PvP world right now, so maybe we can see a little bit of Graviton Lance.
Oh, another thing, while I remember, another thing we did to Fighting Lion to make it a little bit better is if you are still, it has more ammo now, if you are still feeling some ammo pressure, if you get a kill with the grenade, it guarantees a special ammo, an energy ammo brick to drop.
Cool.
Do we have any good snipers we could watch?
Oh, damn! You're welcome to go take a seat, Captain.
All right, fine. Oh, well, that wasn't it.
Switch something else.
Yeah, you should. You should.
We've got Risk Runner. What did you do to Risk Runner?
Risk Runner, so currently Risk Runner, when you take arc damage, you're resistant to arc damage, and it activates the arc overdrive perk, where basically the gun comes to your life and just like blasts everything with electrical energy. We increased the amount of arc damage resistance you get when the weapon activates, and then we enabled that for PvP. So now you can run Risk Runner.
Yeah.
If you get hit with arc damage in PvP, you will take half damage from the arc source. It will turn on the arc damage or the arc overdrive perk, making the weapon way more lethal. And then another thing we did is that we allowed the arc overdrive perk to enable when you have it stowed. So you don't have to have it out. If you have the weapon backpacked and you take arc damage, it's going to turn on. You're going to get a notification like, hey, it's party time. Time to pull out Risk Runner, ready to go.
Party time.
But important distinction for the PvP players is that you only get the damage resistance when the weapon is in your hand.
Okay.
So the perk can activate when you take damage, but you have to pull it out to be able to get the damage resistance.
Second match is coming up. We're going to play some Clash. Map settings being tweaked. Saw that Skyburner's Oath had been equipped.
Yeah.
Skyburner's Oath has actually been a favorite of mine. I've used it in Crucible, which is rare for me to use a scout in Crucible. What have you done to my baby?
This got the most, probably one of the biggest changes.
Yeah,
right?
it took a long time. It took a long time to like really dial in how the projectile was going to work. But basically, we talked about this in the TWAB a little bit ago, but Skyburner's Oath had, sorry.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's an inside joke. It's an inside joke.
Skyburner's Oath had it had a relatively good amount of utility and power. It was a pretty strong weapon. It just didn't have any spectacle. When you used it, it just sort of felt like one of the other legendary guns. Even though it was pretty strong, it was pretty effective for most activities. And so we just kind of wanted to give it some sparkle, some pizzazz. And so what we did is we sort of like looked at the duality nature of the weapon, where it fires fast from hip and then fires slow when you ADS. And we just sort of like, okay, let's make a more distinctive separation here between hip fire and aiming down sights. So now aiming down sights is going to behave like it did, fire slow, high impact, precision damage. We put explosive rounds on the weapon, so anytime you hit with any play style, it's going to explode and do some damage. But then for the hip fire, what we did is we slowed down the projectiles, and we sort of like put a little bit of gravity on them, so you're kind of lobbing these like, almost feels like a rapid fire grenade launcher.
Okay.
And then we put some, the first attempt at doing that was like, okay, this is fun. Like I can see the sort of the feeling of how this is going to work, but it was pretty hard to actually like hit targets with a slower projectile. So we're like, screw it, man. We're trying to make exotics strong and awesome. Let's put some tracking on this thing, so you kind of don't have to aim all that much.
Target-seeking rounds.
Yep.
All right.
The first version of that was strong.
It was insane.
Show me those
It was
target-seeking
really
rounds.
strong.
That's nasty.
It would track you down.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. That is awesome. That's going to be fun, man. That is going to be fun.
Yeah, definitely great to like how Kevin's using it here. It's a really fun weapon to use as a warlock. It's sort of you're like strafing through the
from
air and just sort of raining fire, almost like you're some kind of sky burner.
Oh God! Look
There
at
it is.
that. Have fun with your puns. Have fun with your groan-worthy puns.
Oh,
You got caught
What
up.
was that?
that was Hardlight.
And what have you done to Hardlight?
Hardlight, we basically gave it the same functionality that Borealis has now, where you can hold down you can hold down the reload button to change damage types on the fly.
Okay.
And then we did something that I'm really excited about. So one of the things that people know and love about Hardlight, of course, as you can see there, is that it bounces willy-nilly all over the place.
Indeed.
The utility of that is not super strong. There's a lot of spectacle there. It feels like a laser light show, but trying to actually pull something off with that has been difficult. So what we did is, with Hardlight now, every time a bullet ricochets, it gets double damage. So if you're bouncing stuff around the corner, you're going to be doing twice as much damage. A little bit harder to hit, but when you do
Pays
get the
out.
hits, it's going to pay off.
Blind firing, high risk reward.
And I am really excited to see what kind of montage material we can get from people doing trick shots, bounce shots, like shooting at the ground in front of somebody to have it bounce up and hit them and then melt them instantly.
Right. Well, as much as I'm loving the Skyburner's Oath exhibition here, I'm wondering if we can get, as much as you've talked about Graviton Lance, I'm wondering if we can get a Graviton Lance equipped on that character. Thank you so much.
This is going to be disgusting.
Okay.
Kevin's
and why
gonna
will
destroy
this be
these guys.
why will this be disgusting?
It's just good. Like we use the power of math to make sure the time to kill on Graviton is pretty competitive. So,
Yeah, time to kill has been a frequent topic of conversation in our community. How does Graviton Lance specifically answer that question? You said the power of math. You're just making this weapon more lethal, more power. Well, look at that.
So basically, so one of the things we did to Graviton is we made it a 2-round burst instead of a 3-round burst. So the first bullet's a little bit weaker. And the second bullet is much stronger with a little bit harder kick. But that's one bullet less that you have to fire, so it's already got a competitive advantage against other pulse rifles. And as we were making these changes for May, changes were also happening in tandem for the Go Fast update, which we released a little bit ago. And as most people know, pulse rifles got a significant buff. And when those changes sort of like rolled our way
together,
and we play tested, we were like, holy crap, this thing's amazing. And then it was sort of one of those moments where like, do we change it? Do we keep it? What do we do? We're like, screw it. Plays great. People love it. We're just going to keep it. So yeah, pulse rifle buff made this thing pretty awesome. And yeah, we're just gonna let it roll. See how it goes.
For the first 3 years of Destiny, we presided over a lot of conversations about certain weapons being OP. Certain weapons had reigns of terror throughout the course of different sandbox updates. With Destiny 2, a lot of the feedback has been nothing's OP.
Yeah.
And they wanted some of those rough edges to come back. Looks like you're doing that.
Yep, absolutely.
Speaking of rate of fire changes and things like that, Crimson?
Crimson, yeah. Crimson's getting better. Crimson is not necessarily going to have a flashy update like Skyburner. If you know how to use Crimson, it's going to be it's going to play the same. It's going to be very consistent.
Oh no.
What we did to make Crimson a more competitive option for PvP. Oh, and just for the whole game, the first thing we did was
watch the taunts.
one of the biggest pieces of feedback about Crimson was that I run out of ammo too fast. So we addressed that. We gave it a whole bunch more ammo.
And there it is now.
For the competitive world, we basically looked at Crimson as we want to try and match the time to kill of an aggressive family hand cannon, which is 3 shots to the head. It was interesting trying to solve that because Crimson is a 3-round burst, and it also the burst fires a little bit slower than a pulse rifle because we wanted to make it still feel like a hand cannon. We actually tried it early on in Curse of Osiris. We tried firing Crimson as a 3-round burst like the sidearm, and it just made it feel really light, and sort of like it felt like you were using a sidearm with funny art.
Yeah, it did not feel like a hand.
Yeah, so we actually we increased the damage on the bullets and then slowed down the burst, so it really felt a little bit chunky. But anyways, trying to match the exact time to kill to an aggressive hand cannon meant doing some specific tuning to precision damage and basically the rate of fire. So we slowed down, we sped up the.
Everyone saw that coming.
We sped up the time between bursts to be able to match the cadence of an aggressive hand cannon, and then to be able to match the exact time in shots to kill, we had to make it so that the first bullet of the final burst is the killing blow of Crimson. So because it fires
2 free bullets.
3 rounds per burst, you actually have a lot of room for error there. So you can afford to get in some body shots or miss a couple rounds, and you'll still be competitive with aggressive hand cannons.
Yeah.
Cool. If you were to place a bet, what gun do you think is going to be a standout? Uh-oh, here it comes.
Yeah.
Are you going to go to Sturm? You're not going to go Rat King? All right, your choice. Your choice. We're talking about hand cannons.
See if you can get some of those crispy 2 taps.
Give me some crispy 2 taps. Not bad.
There
Not
we go.
bad at all.
He's got it primed.
He's now got a primed overcharge bullet, which means he can get a 2-shot kill if he doesn't miss. So how this one is going to work is Sturm and Drang are paired weapons. There it is. So you get a kill with Drang. It automatically...
Oh, you're just so bored with yourself. You're just so awesome. You're so bored with yourself.
Getting a kill with Drang automatically reloads Sturm, and it adds 1 bonus round to the magazine. A new functionality with Sturm is that any overloaded round, and so Sturm has a default magazine of 12 and goes up to 20. So rounds from 12 to 20 are going to have a significant amount of bonus damage.
But you only need 1.
But you only need 1 overcharged round plus 1 normal round shots to the head to get a kill in Crucible. And then in the PvE world, you can get kills with Drang all day, overload Sturm up to 20 rounds, and be sitting pretty.
All right. Well, those are the 2 Crucible matches that we were going to play today. Some good pearls there about the exotic weapon tuning. We don't need to reveal every single detail on stream.
No.
Might as well, we do love watching our exotic weapon reviews from our community, and that will be a good opportunity for us to understand if we've gotten closer to the sweet spot. We'd love to hear your opinions about these exotic weapons. You'll have an opportunity to get your hands on them on May 8th when Season 3 begins with the launch of Warmind, the second expansion to Destiny 2.
So today, the Crucible team is going to talk to you about 2 important features coming in Season 3. Both of these are available to all players of Destiny, regardless of Warmind ownership, and those are Crucible Ranks and Private Match. I'm going to open up with Crucible Ranks here. So starting in Season 3, all players are going to be invited to the world of Crucible Ranks, and you're going to have a choice of 2 ranks, which really dictate like how you're going to play and how what type of investment you're going to make into the game. So there is the Valor rank, which is a progression rank that goes up when you win, up when you complete matches, and winning helps you move up faster, but there are absolutely no loss penalties. This is more a reflection of your time commitment. This is something you can go in, kick back, relax, and make progress towards something.
So everybody can get in and rank up a little bit and kind of progress through.
Absolutely. And you're going to find this rank actually featured on a quick play and all of our rotating playlists. And then we have the glory rank here, which is which is attached strictly only to the competitive playlist. And this is a rank that goes up when you win and down when you lose. It's all about performance. It's all about the W's. So if you can win, if you can close out those matches, we're going to reward you for it.
And what do we stand to gain?
What if you lose? You go down. You go down. You really want to stay in the game as well, because if you leave early, you're going to get hit with the loss. Each rank features a form of streaking. So Valor, as you can win consecutively, you'll earn more points up to a cap, and that'll reset back down.
Streak bonus.
Correct. There's streak bonuses. Glory features the same type of streak bonus, but it also features a loss streak, which means if you're losing a lot, it's going to hurt more. And that also caps out as well.
Okay.
And that's there, to add a little bit more of the risk of playing a competitive match. But I believe players who wanted this type of system wanted that type of risk. And speaking of rewards,
Am I getting anything other than this?
You're absolutely getting stuff. So starting in season 3, we're actually changing up the way Crucible rewards work entirely. When you go to Shaxx, as you will be required to when you first log in on season 3, you'll be presented not only with a welcome package that contains 2 amazing emblems, but you'll also be presented with the entire slew of rewards and exactly how to get them.
Oh, cool.
Some of them are attached to reaching ranks. Some of them require reaching a rank and then completing a challenge. Something like pulse rifle kills or hand cannon headshots, sniper headshots, redeeming engrams, or resetting your Valor rank. So if players were to max out their Valor rank, they can decide, if they want to reset it, begin that journey anew. And that will actually be one tracked in an emblem, but also be a way that you unlock certain rewards.
So if I see somebody that has like 735 resets, we know that they played a lot of Crucible.
Yes, and it is uncapped. So you play as much as you want, play as much Valor as you want, earn as much Valor as you want, and we will showcase that. So these are the 2 emblems you get for completing that intro quest, and as you see here, the Valor Season 3 emblem tracks the number of Valor ranks you've completed.
So I like emblems, but is there any sort of rewards that I can actually use?
Yes. I'll get to that in just a second.
Okay.
The Glory emblem here, for those of you who are interested in the Glory rank, actually tracks your rank points in real time, which means this is exactly how much you have slapped that on if you want to peacock a bit, show off. But yes, if you want a tangible reward, there's already a series of brand new guns that you're going to be able to earn from completing ranks and earning ranks. But there's specifically one gun each season that we're going to deliver that's going to be the chase. It's for season 3. That's Redrix's Claymore. And this gun is unlike many guns because it features a new perk called Desperado. So as you see here, it has barrel traits. It has Outlaw, fan favorite, which is actually getting buffed in the 1.2.0 patch so that it refreshes every headshot kill. No cooldown. And Desperado, well, that's synergistic with it. So reloading while Outlaw is active is going to increase your rate of fire. But unlike other rate of fire perks we've made in the past, this one does not lower your impact, which means you're still getting the crispy 3 burst. You're just getting it faster.
So, wow, okay.
Yeah.
To see it in action.
Yes, you will. This gun is attached to the Fabled rank in Glory. So for those of you who want to earn this, you have to set your sights on Fabled, make your way there.
So we're not just giving that to everybody.
Absolutely not. This is going to be, I predict, one of the harder rewards to earn. If you see somebody with this, you know they're good, and you know they've earned it. So, with that said, let's take a look at Private Match.
Yes, it's back.
Yes, it's pretty insane. So Private Match is back. It's everything you have known and loved about the Destiny 1 Private Match with some of our new game modes, and we've heard the feedback for certain about some of the options not necessarily fitting people's preferences. So we've done things like stripped out time of day and stuff like that, so that they're more focused on game options.
So what are we playing today?
So today we're going to be playing one of the 2 maps which one of those maps is Meltdown. We won't be playing that today, but we will be looking at Solitude. Solitude is a brand new map that does require Warmind ownership. As with any DLC map in private match, you need to have ownership to
But
actually
if I'm playing
play.
in the playlist, I'm good to go.
Good to go. And that is actually a survival map. It's one we built for survival. It plays very well in survival. We're very excited. And we're going to play a little bit accelerated today. We're going to put rounds to win at 2.
Okay. Team lives.
6, which is the playlist version. We sped it up a little bit just to get it a little more snappy, but today we're going to be playing 6. So we're going to play Solitude Survival, and we're going to show off some new sandbox stuff.
Let's do it.
Boom.
Cool, thanks guys. So just to recap, Season 3 delivers private matches and seasonal Crucible rankings to every player of Destiny 2. We're also delivering the new Crucible maps that we're releasing with Warmind. You'll be able to enjoy those in matchmaking. If you want to use them in private matches, you do need to own the expansion.